Welcome to the BodkinShow.
Welcome to the Bodkins Show. Welcome back, everybody. Let's go ahead and get right to it. This week, not a busy week, but we got some stuff we got to talk about. All right. So first, as we always talk about in the NFL, not a whole lot happening in the NFL this week. Biggest news, Nick Foles signed a 2-year deal with the Colts. Yes, that's right. Big Dick Nick Foles, formerly of the Bears, formerly of the Eagles, Super Bowl winning Big Dick Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP Big Dick Nick Foles. Signs with the Colts, meets up back with Frank Wright, who helped him win that Super Bowl. He'll be their backup to Matt Ryan. Good pickup by the Colts. I like it. Foles knows the offense pretty well, obviously, has worked with Wright. It was successful. Now him and Carson, Wright and Carson weren't successful, but hey, things have changed. So now we have Big Dick Nick there in Indy. Other than that, not a whole lot. Still OBJ, still a free agent. A couple other, Julio Jones, a free agent. A couple other names, still free agent. OTAs are about to start and are either about to start or have started. You won't see a lot of veterans. It's mainly a lot of rookies and guys who are still trying to make the team. At OTAs, you'll see some new players maybe show up to OTAs to get, meet their new team and everything else. But OTAs, these aren't really, they're mandatory, but not mandatory. So you won't see like some of the big names really participate. Aaron Rodgers sitting out and a couple other guys sitting out. OTA is not that big a deal. That's pretty much it in the NFL. NBA, we got to talk about the conference finals. So I said Dallas was going to get 2 games. I had the Warriors, but God, Dallas just doesn't have enough firepower. They're outmatched, outgunned. Give it up for the Warriors. It's probably going to be a sweep tonight. It ain't even going to be a gentleman's sweep. I got the Warriors. The Warriors probably going to win this one tonight. They're going to get about a week's worth of rest here if they sweep tonight, especially because the other series is 2-2. The Warriors Dallas has no answers. They have nobody outside of Luka. I call them the Jackson 5, right? You know who Michael is? That's Luka. You know who Tito is? That's Brunson. And you know who Jermaine is, and that's Dinwiddie. Can't name the other 2 guys, right? Because nobody even knows the other 2 Jacksons. I don't know nobody else on the Mavs. And those aren't even a very good Tito and Jermaine in Brunson and Dinwiddie. So Luka's trying to do it all. He hasn't been able to do it all. I give it up. The Warriors just too much. Credit to the Mavs. They're not even supposed to be here. I've said that before. Mavs aren't supposed to be here. They're here because the Suns decided not to show up in Game 7. But, hey, Mavs are here. Mavs are getting swept. Warriors going to go to the finals and probably win this motherfucker, I think. Well, and speaking of the other side, it is a battle of wills, battle of nutrition in the Eastern Conference Finals. I said it was going to be physical. Guys are getting banged up. Guys are getting hurt. It's 2-2. The series has been really, weird, wonky, whatever adjective you want to put in there, because it was like Game 1, it was a close game, first half, then the Heat blew them out. Game 2, Boston goes into Miami, blows them out. Game 3, Miami is blowing them out in the first half, barely survives in the second half. Jason Tatum was nowhere to be found for Boston. Had he just showed up a little, they probably win that game. They were down 20 in that game and got it within 1 point. And then last night, complete blowout. Boston evens up 2-2. And now we have a best-of-3 series. And I still like Boston. Both teams banged up. Smart's banged up. Tatum's banged up. Butler on Miami's banged up. Hero's banged up for Miami. It's just going to be a matter of who can survive. All while the Warriors are going to wrap up the series tonight. They're going to be drinking Mai Tais and just watching, relaxing, watching these 2 teams beat each other up just so they can probably go in and beat either team. I think the Warriors are probably going to win. I like Boston. I've said that before, but it just would be how healthy are they going to be when they get to the finals? Because, I'm not counting out the Heat yet, but just saying, I've picked Boston and Golden State since day one of the playoffs. I'm sticking with that. The finals will start next week, I think. So, we'll see. Baseball, we just got to talk a little bit of just one little thing. There's not a whole lot there in baseball. This week, there's a little tiff. I don't even know what you want to call it. But Josh Donaldson was calling Josh Donaldson of the Yankees, who, let's face it, nobody likes Josh Donaldson. You can't find one person in baseball that says one good thing about Josh Donaldson. He's been around a long time, folks. He was calling Tim Anderson of the White Sox Jackie, as in Jackie Robinson. Now, I guess there's an article several years ago when Tim Anderson was coming up in the league, and he was saying, hey, I'm going to be the next Jackie Robinson. Not just as far as, like, he just meant, like, entertaining. Like, a guy who's just entertaining is going to go out there and give you, just be entertaining and joy to watch. Like, that's what he meant by that. Well, I guess Josh kept calling Anderson Jackie. Anderson took offense of it because he said, you don't know me like that, motherfucker. And they kind of got into it. He said it was like a racial thing. I think if somebody calling you Jackie Robinson, that's more of a compliment, right? Like, not really racial. Like, Jackie Robinson is a known, like, hero. You know what I mean? A guy who broke barriers. I don't think that Tim Anderson should be calling himself Jackie Robinson. Now, I do understand where he's coming from. Like, he wants to be entertaining type player like Jackie Robinson was. So you can't really get offended, but he did. Him and Josh Donaldson don't like each other. There's history of them not liking each other. Josh says he's always called Anderson that. And Anderson said, no, he hasn't. But Josh Donaldson got a game. I'm not really too sure he deserved a game. I think they just need to squash whatever little beef, and they just need to get on with it. Stop being so sensitive. Also, at this day and age, I understand that you probably can't say those type of things to somebody because we just live in this, culture, time, and frame where people just take offense to things easily. Now, I don't think if somebody was calling somebody Jackie Robinson, that's offensive. But to each his own. Anderson took offense to it. They got into a squabble. We'll see. They'll see each other down the road, probably. Maybe. Just depends if they both make the playoffs. I mean, still got 100 and some odd in games left in baseball. So I'm sure they'll see each other down the road. That was kind of it. Let's see. Not a whole lot. UFC-wise, I thought Holly Holm was in the main event last week, and I thought she got robbed. I thought she won three. I thought she won 3 of the 5 rounds. Clearly, only one judge scored it that way. The other 2 judges scored it for the other girl. I can't even remember her name off the top of my head, but she lost that fight. Holly Holm lost that fight. Now it's what's next for Holly Holm, the legend Holly Holm. Remember, like, she was knocked out. Ronda Rousey was the former bantamweight champ. It looked like had she won this fight, there's possible that she might get the winner of Nunez and Pena in July. But now that's off for Holly Holm. She's 40 years old. I don't know how much left in the tank for Holly. She has one more fight left on her contract. I mean, is UFC going to sign her to another 3-fight deal? I mean, by the time that's at 42, she didn't look as quick and as fast. Now, Holly Holm at 40 years old can still kick a lot of girls' asses. But I just don't see a good way back to the path, to the title. She needed that fight and have Pena beat Nunez, because they're not going to run Nunez and Holm back. Hey, that's the fight game, man. Credit to the girl who did win. The fight wasn't all that entertaining, but hey, credit. Another big win for Michel Pereira. That's how you say it. Michel Pereira. If you ever watch Michel Pereira, he's the crazy-ass guy doing fucking backflips and shit like that. If you don't know who that is, he'll do backflips in the cage. I'm not talking about after the fights. I'm talking about during the motherfucking fight. He beats Porzinho in the welterweight. Now, Michel Pereira is he's ranked at number. He'll be moving up into he'll be taking Pompozino's spot, who is ranked 14. Pierre will now be ranked in the top 15. Looks like he's going to be a kind of a semi-player. There's that welterweight division's got some studs, young guys coming up. That's going to be some problems. Watch out for all these older heads. Now, Michel Pereira called out. Here's some tea. I don't have some, but I'm going to sip some tea. Here's some tea for y'all. Michel Pereira calls out Jorge Masvidal and says Jorge was in his old lady's DMs. So Jorge Masvidal takes a screenshot of the DM. Come to find out, Michelle Pierre's old lady was in Jorge's DMs. So Michelle was trying to make some money and get a good fight with a highly ranked fighter after the fight, but come to find out, hey, his old lady was in Jorge's DM. So Jorge said Jorge ain't gonna fight Michelle Pierre anytime soon. Michelle's got to win a few more fights to get to Jorge Masvidal. That kind of wraps up. There's not a big UFC card and all this. There's no UFC card this week, so that kind of scratches that out. We kind of covered the NFL. OTAs are going on. With NBA, we still got the finals. The Lakers are still, let me go back to the NBA real quick. Lakers still looking for their head coach, Juwan Howard of the Michigan. He turned that job down. There's reports that they wanted him. It looks like they're trying to get a Bucks, not their head coach, but one of their assistants. There's a couple assistants. They haven't found a guy. I mean, does anybody really want to go to the Lakers right now? Like, Juwan Howard turned that job down, and he's a former NBA player, coached was an assistant on a LeBron-led team, his former teammate. The Lakers are just a hot mess, right? Like, I mean, hot pile of dog shit right now. You have the Westbrook drama. You have Anthony Street Clothes Davis. Is he ever going to play? Plus, LeBron, who knows? He gets tired of people and coaches real quick, and it's his team. He's the GM and everybody else. And if you're Juwan Howard, why the fuck would you want to do that? You don't. Stay at Michigan, right? He's got his sons getting ready to come play for him. You're always going to be kind of in the top, 25 chance to win the title. Might as well stay at Michigan, where right now you're loved. Everybody likes you. You go to LA, it doesn't go well. They'll spit you out and kick you out. Might as well just stay at your alma mater where you fought so hard to get Juwan. I like that decision by Juwan Morgan to stay there. Or not Juwan Morgan, Juwan Howard. That pretty much wraps it up for this week. There wasn't a whole lot going on. I appreciate everybody turning into the show today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If there's something I'm missing or something you want me to talk about, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. That's Bodkins_Nick. I'll talk about anything and everything. We're getting into the nitty gritty here of the end of NBA, and we're going to get some real dead time. I'm going to have to figure some shit out here. I think next week we'll reveal the other Bodkins baseball power rankings, the BBPR, the Bodkins baseball power rankings. The BBBR, we'll release another one of those coming up once the NFL starts again. Once it gets a little closer, we'll probably rank each division, talk about each division once a week, and that's kind of what we'll do. Hey, anyway, it's been real. Like, comment, subscribe, and appreciate y'all.